Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome into Duval Daily presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLuca. Thanks so much for being here. Tuesday, November 4th. The trade deadline is today, and James Gladstone gets a deal done. Jakobi Meyers coming to Jacksonville from the Las Vegas Raiders. All of the hints, and if you were reading the tea leaves and paying attention, it was there. You know, pregame and postgame conversations between Jakobi Meyers and Jaguars brass. The obvious connection with Jakobi Meyers wanting to be traded, requesting a trade before the season. Raiders not doing well. Jaguars needing receiver help. All of it was there. It made a lot of sense. And it's happening. Jaguars acquiring wide receiver Jakobi Meyers. I'm responding to this as the news came in. I was out at Publix getting into the car, get the notification from all the big national reporters. Jakobi Meyers heading to Jacksonville for a 2026 fourth round pick and a 2026 sixth round pick. That's a pretty big investment overall, considering midseason trade, player who, has requested a trade, team isn't doing well. Overall, it seems like that's a pretty big price to pay. Now, Jakobi Meyers is a good football player. So there's a lot to get into here. And to me, I'm not going to bury the lead. I think this is a necessary move, an important move for the Jaguars. If you watched the show earlier today, I talked about I think the Jaguars should be buyers at the trade deadline. That's what James Gladstone did here. I will not be surprised if they make another move, honestly, on the defensive side of the ball. That's kind of where my head's at. If you are trying to push to make the playoffs, to win your division, to win playoff games this year, making a couple moves is pretty necessary in my opinion. There's some areas where the Jaguars are injured. There's some area where the Jaguars could use some consistency, some help. Wide receiver was one of those spots. We're going to dive into all of it. Really appreciate y'all being here. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. You can also check out GenJag.com, pick up some new Duval gear, help support the channel, look good while doing it. Really appreciate y'all's support. So, a lot to get into here. When you talk about Jakobi Meyers and his contract, okay? Jakobi Meyers' contract is expiring following the 2025 season. So as of right now, similar to the Greg Newsome trade, this is a move specifically to help the Jaguars win now. Could the Jaguars, if Jakobi Meyers is doing well here, make sense here, sign him to a new deal? Yes. He's not all that. I mean, he's 28 years old right now. He'll be 29 next year. He's obviously not like the youngest player you could acquire, but he's not over the hill by any stretch of the imagination, in my opinion. So 2025 is the only year they're getting for this. And again, a fourth and a sixth round pick. According to Ian Rappaport, the fourth round pick will be the higher of the two Jaguars fourth round picks. And so you're talking about giving up a fourth and a sixth. You're like, man, that's kind of a lot. I mean, that's not nothing. Early day 3 pick and a late day 3 pick. It's not nothing. That's true. But the Jaguars have a bevy of mid to late round picks in 2026. They had 13 picks, I believe, coming into this game, this trade. Now they have 11, right? And they still have 2 third-round picks. They still have a 4th round pick. They still have a bunch of 5th, 6th, 7th round. Like, the Jaguars are still loaded with picks. So I don't think that Jags fans should be all that concerned about losing a 4th and a 6th, considering all the draft capital they have beyond round 1, which they don't have a round 1 pick, but they have a 2nd rounder. They have multiple 3rd rounders, a lot of day 3 picks as well. So this is not, to me, too much of a price to pay for a receiver that will help you win games right now. Now, we do have an update from Adam Schefter on Brian Thomas Jr. as well. He had an ankle injury during the game against the Raiders, the big win. And that's another part of this. Like, the Jaguars, for the second time this season, they play a team. Colin Saunders' trade was preseason, but right after that, they traded for Colin Saunders. And now you play the Raiders, and right after that, you trade for Jakobi Meyers. So Adam Schefter has an update on the BTJ injury. He has a low-grade high ankle sprain, but has a chance to play this week. So low-grade high ankle sprain, that usually is like 1 to 2 weeks. If you had something that was a little bit more concerning with the high ankle sprain, that could be a month, it could be more than that. But he's dealing with a low-grade high ankle sprain. Overall, that's good news for the duration of the year for the Jaguars. I don't think you want to rush him back. And now if you have Jakobi Meyers, that could potentially help. So the Jaguars do have a big-time receiver injury situation as well that needs to be addressed. BTJ, obviously potentially questionable this week, could potentially play against the Houston Texans. De'Ami Brown, concussion, also dealing with shoulder injury. So is he able to get through concussion protocol in 1 week? That's probably very much up in the air. Also, again, dealing with the shoulder injury. He was practicing full at the end of last week, though, with the shoulder, so that's something to keep in mind. It should probably just be about the concussion situation with him. Then you have Travis Hunter, who is out for at least 4 weeks. There's no indication whether or not that he'll be out for longer than that. Will he be out for the entire season? The Jaguars really don't know at this point. He did undergo further testing or examination on Monday. Yesterday, when Liam Cohen met with the media, they could not give any more of an update. They didn't have any more of an update to give. And if you want the exact amount of picks now, because I'm just getting this as well, that the Jaguars still have for 2026. A second, 3/3, thanks to the Lions trade, a 4th-round pick still, which will be the second 4th-round pick they have, right? The later 4th-round pick, I should say. 2 5ths, still have a 6, and 3 7th. I mean, they have a ton of picks. They absolutely do. So, again, I would not be overly concerned with the amount of draft capital given up, considering the amount of draft capital they had for day 3 next year. And Jakobi Meyers, also, when you talk about the draft capital, the Jaguars were not the only team interested in acquiring Jakobi Meyers. There's reports that the Steelers were in on it and multiple other teams, so probably a little bit of a bidding war. And the Jaguars won that bidding war for Jakobi Meyers, who we haven't even talked about, like, what is his actual skill set coming to the Jaguars on this show yet. We've talked about him in the past. A couple weeks ago, talking about how the Jaguars could trade for a receiver. He's 6'2", 200. So, pretty good size. Not like a big receiver, but, good size. He, again, is about to turn 29 here soon. His birthday is actually this week. Happy early birthday. He'll turn 29. The biggest, in my opinion, key trait that he has in his game is he does not drop the football. Career drop rate of 3.8. And of course, he did drop a pass against the Jaguars, which is, funny. But his career drop rate is 3.8%. You look at some of the guys on the Jaguars right now. De'Ami Brown is up around 17. Brian Thomas Jr., well above 10%. Parker Washington above 10%. You have Hunter Long dropping the ball. You have guys dropping the football. And you've had that throughout Trevor Lawrence's career. The Jaguars lead the league in drops. They lead the league in drops since Trevor Lawrence has been the Jaguars quarterback. Jakobi Meyers is going to help with the consistency of his hands. He is also going to help as a route runner. He's a very good route runner. He's also going to help in the versatility department. He has aligned about half of his snaps throughout his career in the slot. He can line up from the slot. He can line up outside as well. I think that is important. That's a key factor to consider for Jakobi Meyers. Now, is he a super dynamic burner who's going to take the top off the defense and be an alpha wide receiver 1? Probably not. But can he be a reliable, solid hands, good route runner, chain mover who gets the job done in a variety of ways? Yes, that's what he can be for you. He's been good in contested catch situations throughout his career. He's shown good hands. Again, in the easy catch situations, he will go over the middle and catch the football. He will catch the football while he's getting rocked. You saw him catch a pass on Sunday against the Jaguars, where it was a contested grab and the defender was all over him and hit him really hard and took him to the ground and he caught the ball. That's the type of player you're getting in Jakobi Meyers. Not a alpha, but a really good wide receiver too, in my opinion. And when you look at the Jaguars, he could potentially be a wide receiver 3 if you get Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter back at some point. You don't know about Travis Hunter. You will be getting BTJ back. You will be getting Diami back. Parker Washington is healthy. When will Tim Patrick be ready to go? He missed this week with a groin injury. The Jaguars have now spent a fair amount of capital on some veteran receivers this year, and I think for good reason. They have an extremely young receiver room. They kind of took a swing on Diami Brown as a 1-year prove-it deal. Can we rely on you? The answer so far has been no. Jakobi Meyers is nothing if not reliable. That's what he has been throughout his career. And I'm excited to see just a reliable professional receiver in Jacksonville. I absolutely am. Part of this is the necessity at the position because of injuries. Part of this, I think, is just he's an upgrade. Like, even if the Jaguars didn't have the injuries, I would be excited about this trade because you'd be talking about having a receiver room of Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Jakobi Meyers, Parker Washington, Tim Patrick, and then also Diami. But, I'm not getting excited about Diami until he gives me something to be excited about as a receiver for the Jaguars because you just haven't seen much of that excitement from Diami, haven't seen much reliability from Diami. It feels like that's going to be somebody who is a 1-year stopgap, not spending very much time in Jacksonville. That's kind of where I'm at with Diami unless he flips a switch in a big way. But I would rather have Jakobi Meyers than Diami anyways, even though Diami is a little bit more of an explosive player. Jakobi is just a better football player, a better receiver, a more reliable player. Got some more size, physicality to his game. So I'm fired up about Jakobi. I would still be looking, if I was the Jaguars, I would still be looking at tight end potentially, injuries there. Britton Strange, when he's going to be back, even if he does come back soon, could you have a better option out there to create like a 12 personnel type of team, especially because you have receiver injuries? Like, could it be best potentially when Britton Strange is back and Brian Thomas Jr. is back to have BTJ and Jakobi, or Jakobi and Parker, or who knows when Travis comes back, but a couple receivers out there with a couple tight ends, and that helps your running game. And it also, you have guys out there that can get the job done as receivers. I think that could be something to look at. I definitely think they should be in on a pass rusher, whether that's an edge player, an interior defensive lineman, a combination of both, whatever it may be. I think they need more pass rush. I'm hopeful that before the 4 p.m. deadline, the Jaguars do acquire a pass rusher. Remains to be seen if they will be able to do that. Okay, we also have a Travis Hunter update. Wow, okay, this is great. Travis Hunter not expected to be out long-term, according to Ian Rappaport. So big updates on both of the Jaguars' top 2 receivers. Travis Hunter not expected to be out long-term. He is out for at least 3 more games, but the Jaguars are expecting him back this year. The Jaguars are expecting BTJ back, could potentially be back this week. The Jaguars are expecting Britton Strange back very soon as well. So you could be looking at in 4 weeks time, Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, Jakobi Meyers, Britton Strange as your top 4 receivers. That's a dramatic change from what you had this past week against the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think Parker Washington is a good role player. Absolutely. So that's great. Nothing but positive things to say about this deal, honestly, for the Jaguars. Now go get another one. Go get a pass rusher. I would like to see a safety as well. I don't know that it's going to happen simply because when you look at the future, Caleb Ransaw in the mix, but I would be looking for a safety. I don't think that they have somebody who can cover at the safety position right now. Eric Murray is their best guy, and he is more of a closer to the line of scrimmage type of guy. He can be covered too. I don't think he's not a true center fielder, right? So I think you need some speed at safety. I don't think you have it. I think you need some coverage chops at safety that you don't have. That's where I'm at. Very excited to welcome Jakobi Meyers to Jacksonville, though. We'll talk to Liam Cohen tomorrow. And very excited to get his thoughts on this trade. And, if the Jaguars potentially make another trade, we'll find out. We will have you covered here at Gen Jag Duval Daily. And I put the over-under a couple weeks ago for the Jaguars trades before the trade deadline at 1.5. They're at 1 now. Are they going to hit the over? We'll find out. Really appreciate you being here. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.